Okay. It's about, it's getting close to that 8 o'clock hour in Southern California. And like I said, I'm here to give a nightly yoga class. And so we're going to try to feel better tonight. So let's move right into this. Into the asanas or yoga postures. For those of you that just might have tuned into this the first time, I'm Michael Jeff, and this is the channel that I started a few years back, maybe it was about 5 years back, and it's called the Yoga Lounge. The Yoga Lounge, so that's kind of an interesting, unique title, isn't it? I don't know if it really equates to, like, you know, some of the stuff that I talk about, but the true meaning of the word yoga actually means like life, or the study of life, or in a way kind of how to live life. The yoga, so it means, the reasoning for that title, kind of the lounge kind of thing, and kind of coming up with yoga lounge is like, it's kind of like to have fun, like to relax in the lounge and to be casual about it. I first thought of the word like casual yoga, and that's kind of like goes along the same lines of, you know, what the design of the yoga lounge name is. So yeah, being casual with yoga, relaxing in the lounge, relaxing at the yoga lounge. So that's what we're doing. Not all of my talks are so relaxing, but this is life. Life is up and down, sideways, bent ways, forwards, up, down, all around you, name the side or angle. It's not the same all the time, and it's not always so much fun. So, but the desire here in the yoga lounge is just to always make it as fun as I can, in spite of what's going on. You may not have all had a wonderful day today. A lot of you have had just a totally relaxed, blissful day, totally chilled out, totally smooth. Everything goes right, and so it just doesn't go like that. So this is life. This is yoga. This is everything's based on the 3 gunas. So we have, as I talked about before, was you have the tamasic, which is really the lowest form. You have the rajasic, which is kind of like the spiced up, heated up, kind of, get going. It's kind of like the realm of the subconscious, the ego-centric, driven, spiced, hot. That's rajasic. The sattvic is, I'm inquiring. I'm asking, what are you saying right now? What are you telling me? I'm open to your suggestions. I'm humbling, I'm coming from a place of humility of the heart. So this is the sattva. So the whole world, as I've talked about before, is based on sattvic, rajasic, tamasic, the 3 principles. And I've talked about a lot of that before. So let's get right into the yoga session here tonight. And it's just going to be, it's not that long. I'm just going to go on for maybe 20 minutes or so. So I want everybody to have a good time with this, have fun, do what you can. If you can't do it, then don't do it. Don't push yourself too far. Listen to your body, listen to your mind, listen to your spirit. Does it tell you that you can do this pose? Does it tell you maybe I shouldn't go so far into the posture? If so, then don't Do it. You have nothing to prove. We have nothing to prove to anybody, to anyone. It doesn't matter what anybody else says, anybody else thinks about you. It's between you and your higher self, and that connection into the moment, into the flow. So we're going to begin. So let's really. I'm going to slow down right now because I'm still kind of wired up from the day. So I'm going to slow down, and we're going to just start to move into this. So I'm going to quickly shift gears and shift my breathing, actually, to really slow myself down and just move into this. So we're going to take some breaths. I'm going to take one more sip of water before I put my water down. Two sips. Okay, so we're going to work on 3 postures today. We're going to open up with some deep breaths, which we're starting to do now. And then we're going to go into Tadasana, the tall mountain pose. And then after that, we're going to go into Trikonasana. And then after that, we're going to go, from that point, we're going to fly right into parsvatanasana, which is sometimes kind of like known as the pyramid pose. And from the pyramid pose, we're going to, lastly, go into what we call parsvatanasana, which is kind of like a wide angle forward bend, wide angle stretch in a standing position. Like I said, parsvatanasana is the name of that. So let's begin. Let's go into a few breaths. Taking a few breaths. So take a look all around you. Stretch out the neck a little bit and try to relax the shoulders. Feeling like the shoulders are dropping down. We're doing this all from a different perspective tonight. So we're coming from an upper body stationary standing position, which is a little bit different than we've done previously. And then we're going to do these postures without coming from Sukhasana or a seated position. So it's a little bit different, a little bit more energetic. So let's start with some deep breaths. So bring the hands out like that. So let's do it one more time. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, then exhale. Ground your feet, both sides, about shoulder width apart. Hands at their sides. Relaxing the mind's eye, looking straight ahead. Putting our hands underneath the chin like this. Give our chin a little lift so our chin is even with the ground, but we're still relaxed. Now let's do one more. So we're going to inhale in yoga, always on the lift up, or what we call the beginning of the posture. When we ascend, we inhale. So we lift up as we're inhaling, get to the top, and we exhale and release. So always on the beginning motion is the inhale, and as we proceed into the end motion, which is as we move all the way into the stretch, we're exhaling. So that's kind of like the rhyme of reason and how all of the yoga asanas work. So, and again, you have to kind of go with your breath as you feel it. It doesn't always work out that way. Sometimes, you might inhale at a different time, or maybe you hold your breath a little bit before you start to inhale. So you don't have to be so exact. And one thing, I'm just going to deviate off onto this sideline here. So when you do yoga, you don't have to be so technical about it, like this pose into that pose into that pose, and watch your breath and watch your hand. Make sure your hand is just about up at the right angle, and bring your shoulder back, bring the pectoral, start to tighten that and do this, and start to tighten your knee joints and feel your knee joints, and it just gets so darn confusing. You just go nuts, and you're more hyper than when you first started the yoga class. So that was an example of getting carried away. And a lot of teachers and sometimes that's their style. And sometimes they're very effective at doing that, and that may be your style. But that isn't always necessarily the right way. Sometimes the simpler way is the better. Sometimes not to even say anything. Now we're going to do this stretch. Turn to the right, turn to the left. Whom a great instructor called Raghavan used to do. He had a style much like that. He's still teaching over in Santa Monica, 24-hour fitness. And he is just a teacher that is beyond belief and just flawless every single night. Raghavan, great teacher, still teaching. This man, he still looks so incredibly young. He never ages. That's what happens in yoga. You stay young. It's one of the biggest benefits about it. Okay, so let's move into the next stretch. So we're going to go into high Tadasana. So arms up as we lift, keeping the feet flat on the ground. Arms are up. You can't see my hands together right now. But let's bring the hands together. Press the hands together, and then bring them apart so that the arms are alongside your ears, okay? And continue to breathe while you're in the stretch. You're grounding with the earth. You're bringing in the energy from way, way up into the solar system, from way high, and you're connecting with that energy, and you're bringing it into your body. Okay, so you're in that pose, you're breathing. If you have to come out of it before, then please do so. Keep the breath active. And let's go ahead and release. Okay, so bring the arms back by the side. And this is called mountain pose or Tadasana. Tadasana, so this is the mountain pose. So in yoga, we always take a few breaths. It's a good idea, rule of thumb, not to rush right into the next pose. You don't want to always have to rush into the next posture, because that it tends to throw off the body, and it doesn't give the body to rest and accommodate and get ready for the next position. So you want to always let the physical body adjust and readjust, and so the body is ready to go into the next posture. So that's usually the rule of thumb. So maybe it could be 20 seconds, sometimes even a minute between postures. And so that's the way that they do it in Shivananda. Now in Vinyasa Yoga or Ashtanga, they have it's a complete flow. They go in from one pose to the other, and one pose into the other, and then kind of like a Vinyasa. And I might do something like that later on, because I'm also certified in Ashtanga. So it's whatever you prefer. Some people prefer that kind of yoga, power yoga or whatever, and it just depends on your mood. Maybe you switch up. Maybe you do Ashtanga yoga one day or power, then you do the other kind. Okay, so let's go into tall mountain pose. So here we go. So lifting the arms up. Take a deep breath. Exhale. Lift up on the tiptoes. You can't see my feet here because I didn't get far enough back. Let me walk back a little bit. Walk back on my tiptoes. Walking back on my tiptoes here. Okay, all right. So I'm up, arms alongside the ear. See if I can keep my balance. Oh gosh, okay. Keep the breath active. Tall mountain pose. This is a very, very powerful pose. If there's no pose that you do during the day at all, if you can't do anything, if you just did this one or even regular mountain pose, you've achieved a mountain. You've climbed a mountain without doing anything else. Okay. Needless to say, going through the rest of the routine just makes it better. All right, so that was fun. So now we can breathe. And so let's take a little bit more time in between the pose once again. And again, if I'm moving too fast for you, if you feel it's too fast, then sit back and take a rest a little bit. There's no rush. Again, it's not a competition. It's not a competition. It's not a contest. It's not a game. It's not any of those things. It's whatever you want it to be. Yoga is whatever you want it to be. It's if you want to be like the Joker, if it's just having fun. Let's have fun. Okay, so it's just about having fun. And excuse me for getting all wild and crazy in the point and starting to laugh. But I just have to laugh at myself, because I just think of myself out here, and to do these things and to come out is like, sometimes I wonder why I do things. When there's people out here, there's people watching me, they're wondering, what is he doing? So it's really challenging, but so despite of whatever's happening around you, you let it roll off you. You don't let it affect you, and you stay in the moment. And once again, this is called adapt, adjust, and accommodate. Adapt, adjust, and accommodate. And this is the whole, in all of life's circumstances and premises, this applies. So let's go into our next pose. We are going to do 2 more. So let's go into Trikonasana, which is commonly known as triangle. And let's begin. So once again, roll your shoulders back. Nice even stance. And let's bring the, we'll go to the right first. So this would be, take your right foot out at 45, let's say 90 degrees. So take your right foot out at 90 degrees, bring your hands up, arms alongside, like this. Now take the other foot and turn it 45 degrees into the pose. Maybe widen your stance just a little bit so the feet are kind of like shoulder width apart. Shoulders down. Now we're gonna, as we take a breath, inhale, and as we exhale, we descend. Remember, we said we exhale, always exhale on the descension, going into the pose. As we come to the end of the pose, fully exhale. And we reach up. The fingers are pointing straight up. The arm is like almost as if you had a ruler against your chest, all the way down. You had a flat board pressing against your chest and arm, keeping everything straight in alignment. Fingers bringing in the energy from above. Take a couple more breaths. Try to look up to the hand. I'm a little bit out of balance tonight. And I'm feeling like I'm losing my balance, but that's okay. Okay, so look up to the hand. And as we lift up, inhale, exhale, and down. Okay, exhale. So that's one side. Let's go to the other side. Take a moment here, and I'm just doing that. You don't have to, in the future, you don't have to do it that way. You can just go right into the other side. But it's good to take a little bit of a respite between each move. And so, let's go. And you might want to loosen the body a bit. Okay, so, all right, so stepping out into the pose. And as the arms go up, once again, put that left foot out 90 degrees. Now turn the back foot, which I believe would be, I'm not sure if I think it would be your right foot. In this case would be your back foot. Whichever side, it doesn't matter. Okay, but you want to do the opposite side that you just did before. So stretch out as we inhale. Take another breath. Exhale. Keep both legs straight. Keep the whole body straight. Remember, have that invisible ruler against the arm. So the arm is all the way in alignment with your chest and with your hips and with your legs. Everything is a straight line. Try to straighten both legs. Okay? Reach, trying to look up to the hands. You can't see my hand here because the camera's not adjusting right here. But that's okay, don't even worry about that. Your fingers are activated, you're drawing in energy. Your whole body is energized. You feel you're opening your channels throughout the body. And we talked about that before. This is what yoga does. It opens up the invisible nervous system, the invisible nadis, which correspond with your nervous system, and it opens up your channels in the body. So it opens your whole system up. It really gets your system going in the morning, particularly. If you can do yoga in the morning, that's always good. Okay, so let's keep the breathing active and we're ready to come up. Inhale, exhale, and release. Okay, so we've gone through, and this is really good. So we're just doing 3 postures and already you feel like you've done an immeasurable amount of stuff. And and you don't have to work that hard when you do it. Sometimes you just go one and you just hold it for a few seconds and then just do the next posture. And I'll demonstrate like that, like how I would do it. Like when I do yoga in the morning, I always do it like wherever I am. I could be in in the middle of wherever. I could be in the middle of a laundromat or a parking lot or on a roof. I don't know. All right. So yes. So sometimes I would just do it like this. I would come down into the pyramid, and I would come up, and then kind of go down into the next pose. And then I would come down, exhale, and I would come up, and then I would kind of maybe rotate around. I would come down into, the forward bend, kind of like this. Then I would come up, and then I'd kind of do it like that. So now let's go into our final posture, which is going to be the parsvatanasana, which is like the forward bend, so it's the wide angle bending over from the hips. And so lifting up, and let's just exhale down. And trying to bring our hands, you can rest them on the legs if you don't want to go all the way down. Keep the back straight. We want to try to always keep the back straight. So if we can, if you have to bend the knees so that in order to keep the back straight, then it takes pressure off your back. So remember that. Try not to round the back because that puts a horrendous pressure on the vertebrae in the back and your spine, so it's not good for you. So you always want to stay in proper alignment. And they really stress this in Iyengar yoga, which is more about alignment and proper alignment, not as much in Hatha yoga. Okay, so here we are. If you feel you can go further, then do so. Hold for a couple more breaths. And continue the breath. Notice if the arms are too stiff, try to relax them a little bit. Try to keep the legs straight if you can while keeping your back straight as well. And let's come up as we inhale. Inhale, inhale, lift up, and exhale down. One at a time, kind of easily bringing your legs back into center and coming back to center. Now we're going to finish off here. Let me see if I can sit down here while the camera is still adjusted at a very high angle to accommodate the standing postures today. So I'm going to try to sit down and see if you can still see me. I don't know, I might have to step a little further back. Does it work? Yes, it does. Okay. All right, so let's finish, okay? So we're going to finish tonight. So tomorrow's a holiday here on the West Coast in the United States. You may be watching from Brazil or somewhere, I don't even know, maybe in Japan or maybe over in, the northern or southern hemisphere, wherever you're watching, or maybe it's just right around the corner. I don't know, maybe you're watching from over in La Jolla or Del Mar or something like that, or San Diego or up in Orange County or LA. But anyway, over in LA and San Diego, San Clemente, Oceanside, all these places, Hermosa Beach, Redondo Beach, Manhattan Beach, yeah, okay, wherever it is. So it's going to be a holiday tomorrow. So tomorrow is Labor Day. And so a lot of people are going to be having fun, and this is kind of the closeout of the summer, and everybody goes back to school, and it's really kind of like the worldly move back into the next season, the fall. So as applied to the world system. So the holiday, yeah. So we're going to have a holiday. So let's just take it from that standpoint. So tomorrow's Labor Day. So, and I hope, have a good time. Everybody have a good time. It's all about having a good time. And whatever you do, wherever you go, I hope you have a good time. To the beach, to the mall. Maybe just to go over to have, your favorite smoothie at your local protein drink place. Or, if you go to the health food store or Sprouts or wherever. So, all right. Maybe you might just stay home all day and have, sit by the TV and just, watch TV all day. Or even if sometimes just want to sleep late. So I would be back Tuesday. Tomorrow's kind of a holiday. And I'll see you on Tuesday. And I'm not even going to say what I'm going to do at this point. So let's close out. Let's take some breaths. So, as I talked about before, we're going to get in the moment, in the window, space and time. I'm looking up, it's dark out here. It's really dark. I've got lights around me lighting up the place, but it's really dark. I can see the trees. But the trees are dark in the light. But they go way up high and it's dark up above that, and then I'm looking up, I can't see the clouds, but I can see some overcast skies. I can see some clouds. I can't see any stars, so it must mean that it's foggy. Okay. So let's take some breaths, deep breaths, straight in the back. So this is we're back in Sukhasana. And for those of you that want to go into Shavasana, that's okay. I'm not going to demonstrate that right now because the camera probably won't see me. Bring your hands on your knees, fingers are touching, arms are relaxed. Arms are very relaxed, mind is relaxed. Take a couple more breaths. Look over to your right side. Look over to your left side. Bring your chin down, exhale. Chin up, inhale. Oh, it feels good. Okay, exhale, release. All right, bring your hands into your chest. Keep the hands really loose, really relaxed. Hands are really relaxed, fingers touching. Okay. Really slow down. You can feel your body and your mind. Everything's slowing. You're all slow. Very slow. Let's do 3 final ohms. So once again, so in the Om we come down from the lower chakra and we bring the A part of it, which is the Ah, and then the Om comes into the palate as we get to the final part of the M, into the, kind of rises up in the chakras. So let's do the first Om. Thank you for sharing your energy with me. Have a great night and a great holiday. Checking out for now. See you on Tuesday.